What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of The Fit Kitchen. So this week is another special one. So if you were to put chocolate caramel squares and fitness in the same sentence, I think a lot of people would look at you funny. But I've got the solution for you. These are my homemade chocolate caramel squares. So the best thing about these is there's no refined sugars being used. The bulk of this will be made up of peanut butter or almond butter, with the base being made of dates and oats and the top being a high percentage of chocolate. So I'm using 70% dark chocolate, but again you can use whatever you want. I just prefer to use a higher percentage of chocolate, and there's more health benefits to it. So for the base of our cake, it's going to be really simple. It's just going to be 25 grams of oats. Oh my god, nothing spilled. Actually no, we're gonna go 50. We're gonna make a bigger batch. Same amount, so 50 grams of ground almond flour. So if you don't have ground almond flour, you can just ground up whole almonds in a blender just to make a fine powder. So you can buy them like that as well. So I'm gonna do the same amount, 50 grams of that. So when we blend this together, it should give us like a biscuity flour base. So in with that, I'm going to do a large tablespoon of coconut oil. So that's usually about 30 grams. We'll see now, but a generous serving of coconut oil. So I should level off your scales. And we're going in with, that's 20 grams. So 20 grams is loads. So that and a cap of vanilla essence. Pretty much it. And then you add little bits of water just to mix it up together, but try and keep it as dry as you can. I've done this too many times where I've ruined it because I've added too much water. So be pretty conservative with the water. To use for this is one that has a bottom that comes out. So that's our biscuity base made just like 4 ingredients. So put that into the bottom of the tin. My hands, flatten it out so it covers up all the bottom of the tin. If your tin is bigger, you're going to need a bigger portion, so just double the quantities I use there. So that's just the bottom layer of the cake made. So next is our caramel middle layer. Now traditionally caramel is of melted sugar and butter mixed together. Now I'm going to use dried dates that I've been soaking. So you can use dried dates or prunes or figs, whatever you want. Something that'll just bind it together. And also I'm going to be using a peanut butter. So you will not believe how much this tastes like caramel. It is pretty much unrecognizable. Into my bowl I'm going with, I think it's 80 grams of dates here. So in and top for dates, we're going to use peanut butter. So I'm going for around 100 grams. So on top of that peanut butter, we're going in with more coconut oil. So again, probably about 60 or 70 grams, so 2 tablespoons. Lastly, with the caramel, usually we associate caramel with a salt, so a salted caramel. So go in with a few cracks of salt and then just water to bring it all together. So once all that filling is blended up, you'll see it gives like a kind of cakey caramel mixture. So that's our second layer of the cake. It's our caramel. So that's just our peanut butter, our dates, our coconut oil, salt and water. So line the baking tin with that. Now put that into the fridge for probably half an hour, 40 minutes. Let it kind of set and sit down a little bit more, and then we'll go on with the melted chocolate. So it has probably been about 20 or 30 minutes. Just taking this out now, and you can see it's really good and set. It won't fall out. So that's 2/3 of the cake made. The last layer is just the melted chocolate layer, and this is the best bit. This is what everyone loves. So these are what I use, are 70%. Use whatever you have or whatever you want. You can go higher, you can go lower, it doesn't matter. Put them into a bowl, put the bowl onto a saucepan of boiling water and let them melt. So now I'm just measuring out 70 grams. So let's just go like one handful. Oh my god, 62. So like just over one handful. And that's loads. And you can do more, but again, the more you use, the higher the calories are going to be. But again, suit yourself. I'm not going to tell you not to use as much chocolate as you like, because it is delicious. It's just a case of getting our chocolate that's here, putting it onto a pot of boiling water. Just make sure that the bottom of this pot isn't touching the water. That will temper the chocolate and it'll ruin it. So make sure it's just the steam that melts it and not the actual water touching the bottom of the thing. So that was really quick. That was probably more than 3 minutes. Once the water's boiling, definitely like 3 minutes, it'll be cooked and melted really well. So with a good spatula, just spoon it on top of the mixture already. To be honest, if you can get to this stage without having eaten the chocolate already from the bowl, then you've already won in my eyes. So the chocolate layer is on, you can see it there. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for just like a clean coat of chocolate all over the top. 70 grams chocolate seems to cover it nice and thinly. If you want a thicker cover, then just use more chocolate. So that's the cake made. Put that back in the fridge for another 15 minutes. Let the chocolate set and then we'll cut open. So that has spent probably 5 minutes in the fridge and now we're done, we're ready to go. So the important thing is when you use a pan like this is that you can unclip it and we should be able to take our cake out. Ah yes, there we go. So you can see the 3 really nice layers. There's the base and then the caramel middle and the chocolate top. So that is perfect. I didn't think it would come out as good as that. So now is the final step, and this is a pretty important part too. It's just cutting the actual cake. Put it in the kettle, just in the hot water or in the steam. So heat the knife up itself. The knife sit in the kettle, just like that, sitting in the steam, and heat up the blade. So the knife is hot, let's give it a wipe so it's not wet, and we'll crack into this thing. So it should just break through straight away, and it won't crack the top chocolate either. First slice out. So there you have it, that's it done. As you can see, they look unbelievable. So keep in mind there are 200 to 250 calories per portion, but when you consider a normal caramel square, that is often 600, 700, 800 calories. So these are a really healthy alternative option. And this can be a really good thing to bring to a party or if you're having an event. Just making a healthy alternative to what would be a very high calorie, high sugar, high fat food. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a go and see you next Sunday for another episode of The Fit Kitchen.